Welcome to 626 Ohana, California Adventures Podcast, number 31.
Where we talk all things Disney, theme parks, and travel.
I'm Brad.
I'm Kim.
In airline news, well, a whole bunch of executives went in front of the Senate hearing, and, well, there's some fees and things that the Senate was not happy about. In cruise news, well, Mexico wants some more of your money to stay in Mexico. In theme park news, Disneyland is making some big changes. And of course, we're going to have more Disney World and Universal Studios news. So let's go ahead and get started with our airline news.
So airline executives were blasted by the Senate during a hearing over carrier fees. So basically, airline officials were questioned over junk fees. So those are like your extra fees for baggage, seat selection, and other services. And quite frankly, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, it seems like there's every time we turn around, and we've got the fly Southwest a little bit this year, and some of the extra fees that you can add on, they really add up quick.
Right. When you board, how much leg room you have.
Yeah.
All kinds of things like that. And then again, overhead baggage cost.
Mm-hmm. So in 2023, investigation found that American, Delta, United, Frontier, and Spirit Airlines collected over $3 billion, let me say that, billion dollars in seat fees for booking specific seats like we were just talking about, or better seats on top of the base ticket fares per Senator Richard Blumenthal in the hearing in the Senate Permanent Subcommittee.
Okay, so that's insane. Like, I can't imagine that we all spend that money.
Yeah, but it's really easy to do because you're like, okay, I want that longer. For me, being about 6'4", legroom's a big deal.
Right. We actually did Southwest a few times this year, and we did upgrade. I think it was to the Economy Plus just to have that legroom.
Yeah.
Because without it, I felt like we were like sardines.
Yeah, we were trying to get to those special, I guess, the exit rows there's one seat that has like a no seat in front of it. It's like the perfect seat.
We never did get it though.
We got it once, but the other times it was funny. They had people that needed special assistance to a board, ended up in the exit row, which we had a lot of questions about.
But I mean, it did add up for a family of 3.
Yeah, and it's really quick to do that. And I guess we never fly in Spirit, but I guess that one could get even quicker.
Well, I think in a little bit, we'll get down to why.
Okay.
So Senator Josh Crowley criticized Frontier Airlines and Spirit Airlines during 2-hour hearing due to employees getting paid bonuses to gate employees for charging customers extra fees for large carry-ons.
Oh, so they get more money if they say, yeah, no, that doesn't fit. You're going to have to pay more.
Too big, a little awkward.
Yeah.
We ran out of room, or we're going to run out of room. Yeah. So their airline gate agents got more money. This is fishy.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen, I've seen the people, even on regular airlines, saying that here's the size that fits. And people trying to shove their case into that little cubicle right in front of the stand. Say, see, it fits.
But I bet you someone tried to pull that's not going to fit, and nobody questioned it. For a bonus, like, I could see some people being a little less than ethical on that one.
I could see some people. I guess I'm more look at the people like, being nice, but you never know.
Spirit Airlines charges between $15 to $17 per carry-on that doesn't fit under a seat. Yikes.
Yeah, that can get a little expensive. So is there anything that goes in the overhead you have to pay that amount for?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Flying on your airlines is a disaster, don't you? Okay, yay, Senator Hawley, for pointing that out, because I feel like these two airlines have like horrible, horrible reputations for just being awful on time, baggage, everything, nickel and dimed, and it's time they're called out on it.
Yeah, I know. Well, and the truth about it is Spirit's on life support right now.
They are,
because they did not apparently charge enough.
So anyways, the airline industry is suing to block another regulation requiring more prominent disclosure of baggage and cancellation fees. So they want to keep everything a little secret.
Yeah, I mean, we've dealt with this, even with the big airlines, we've dealt with this. If we didn't know our flyer rights before, especially during 2020 when everything was going on, if we didn't know what was going on there, we could have lost a lot of money in flights that we had pre-booked for other trips at the time.
Right. So we actually had to go back and quote the laws a few times and our rights, and we got more money back that way than had we just let it slide and say, "Oh wait, our flight is canceled." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll give you miles or credit or whatnot," and that does nothing for you when you try to rebook. So there was actually laws in place that prevent that from happening to get your money back.
Yes.
And so we exercise those rights.
So it's something to always be aware of is if when you're booking anything, go back and look and see what exactly your rights are and everything you have, because it can come back to bite you in the butt. Alrighty. So let's go on to more airline news, which American Airlines suspends flights to Haiti for indefinitely.
So they've already been suspended, but American Airlines is like, we don't have an end date anymore for it, because before they were supposed to maybe just kind of see how it was going. But there's been increasing violence. So last month, Spirit and Frontier Airlines were hit by bullets before FAA suspended flights to the country.
Yeah, so their planes were being shot at. Lots of fun.
Yeah, I get why they said, you know what, we'll suspend flights.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about last week, or not last week, but our last episode about Norwegian going into Haiti for their port, saying, well, we're still going to go in there. So, yeah, that's why, there's some people who do not want to get off in anything to do with Haiti because of what the whole situation is going on there. I don't know. I mean, but with this being flights being shot at, I don't think I would want to go to Haiti.
Yeah, I think I could bypass Haiti and be perfectly fine. But I mean, I did enjoy Labadee, the private island there. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd want to see how a few.
Yeah, I think it's an unfortunate situation that hopefully it resolves here soon for everybody. All right, let's go ahead and go on to our Southwest Airlines, and there are going to be some changes coming to Southwest in 2025.
CEO Bob Jordan said travelers can look forward to buying tickets for Southwest Airlines' new premium seats beginning late next year. So these new premium seats will have extra leg room.
Yay.
Okay, I'm all for that. Exactly.
But again, that goes back to our first story about the add-ons.
No, but maybe it's the base ticket is just going to be that.
Mm-hmm. And one of our favorite things, red-eye flights are coming to Southwest Airlines.
Brad's being a little facetious there. We hate red eyes, but we'll do them when we have to. Mm-hmm. But it's nice they have that option now.
Mm-hmm. And also Southwest Airlines is starting to partner with international airlines, starting with Iceland Air.
So that's kind of cool. I mean, I'd like to see them expand.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's something new, and I think we're seeing, and again, like we talked about Southwest, or not Southwest, with Spirit and Frontier, that some of these more budget-minded airlines are struggling a little bit right now. So maybe this is something Southwest to keep them going.
Well, this next part may not help them too much. Yeah. So they're going to cut cabin service short. They already have, actually, of this point. They've cut cabin service shortened to reduce risk of injuries.
I get a little bit of that.
So they're going to prepare for landing 10 minutes earlier. So some of the smaller, like 30, 40-minute flights, you may lose drink service, including water.
Yeah, and I mean, we had this problem on one of our flights back from Phoenix that it was just too rough to start service or do anything. So now we're on Southwest, we actually have water with us just in case.
So for the shorter flights, yeah, now we're always getting water at the airport for the flight.
And they'll also be preparing the cabin to land at 18,000 feet instead of 10,000 feet like they have in the past to reduce in-flight turbulence injuries, which I get that too.
I do too. There's been so many stories lately about flight attendants and passengers being hurt due to turbulence. So anything to mitigate that risk is good.
Well, we had one of our overheads pop open when we were taking off. I just kind of put my hand up and shut it.
It's a good thing Brad was tall because I watched it too, and I was like, "Oh gosh, people are gonna get plummeted by carry-on luggage above." But he was quick and he shut that thing real quick. So we were on, was it Southwest? And we ended up in.
Actually, I think that one was on Delta.
And we ended up a row apart because we booked late.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I saw it opening and I real quick point up to the, it's like, it's opening. So luckily.
Yep. All right, let's go to our more airline news. There's a lot of airline news going on with United Airlines. They're going to be bringing Magnolia Bakery, bringing banana pudding wafer bites on flights that are over 901 mile.
I love how they have to put 901.
Yeah.
So Aaron McMillan is United's managing director of hospitality programs, said, "We're changing the way travelers eat and drink on board, offering more variety and elevated options with partners like Magnolia Bakery."
Yeah, I think we're starting to see a lot of changes like that on a lot of these flights.
I kind of like it because, for so long it was so bland, and people actually do get hungry on flights.
They do? No.
Okay, this might be one of my favorite stories of the week.
And this is with United Airlines. They took a special flight to the North Pole.
So Santa invited passengers to Christmas Island, North Pole from Honolulu.
So the flights were made up of children grieving a loved one on active duty or have a life-threatening disease.
Okay. Break my heart a bit. So this was the first of 13 flights across the country. And I love this.
Each passenger got a special passport photo printed on the ticket with their destination airport code JOY, which is joy.
So families got meet and greets with characters. So they basically took a 30-minute flight, told the kids that, we're going to the North Pole, and landed back at Honolulu and went into a hangar that they had all dressed up.
And families also got to have meet and greets with characters including Mickey and Minnie, a special dinner, games with prizes, and presents from Santa and their wish list.
No, from their wish
list. Oh, from their wish list. Whoops. This is awesome, kind of thing that you see every so often airlines will do. I mean, just the magic of Christmas.
Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine how excited those kids were and to meet with Santa and get a present and have a fun evening during a stressful period of their lives.
Yeah, this is kind of a special thing, especially for our military kids. Mm-hmm. And then again, we also have, I guess you'd call it the kids that have the Make-A-Wish type of life-threatening diseases and stuff like that. It's just, it warms your heart.
It does. I want more stories like this in the news. I can just imagine, and a lot of volunteers from the airlines and different companies came in to make this happen.
I'm sure there were a lot of smiles and a lot of happy faces.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. This is one of those things where it's like, melt my heart, break my heart. I want to take care of these babies or these children.
Okay, let's go ahead and move on. United, they have actually launched a partner with Apple. And of course, you're thinking Apple. Well, what their partnership is with the AirTags powered luggage location. So this is kind of a cool idea, and I hope more airlines do this.
Well, if you read ahead.
Yep.
So Apple announced a new feature called Shared Item Location. So if you have a missing piece of baggage, it allows users to share real-time coordination of lost or misplaced luggage.
So you have to be on iOS 18.2. To use it, obviously, you have to have an AirTag in your luggage.
I hate to say this, but I think sometimes in today's society, you have to say that.
Yeah, and we have actually done this with all our luggage, which is nice to have. You have to have you have to open Find My on your phone. So then you have to also send a link to the airline and put it into their delayed baggage report in the United app. So you have to do all this work to do it beforehand. And then United will dislabel the link once they find your luggage.
And then also, if that doesn't for some reason happen, the location tracking expires in 7 days. So this is amazing. And 15 more airlines said they will join the program. Some of them include Air Canada, Delta, British Airways, Qantas, Singapore Airlines, Swiss International Airlines, Virgin Atlantic, and more.
This is something it's a nice technology to have.
And being able to share that with the airline will hopefully streamline this process and make it so there's very limited lost luggage.
It stinks when you have luggage loss. I've had it happen to me before. And, you're just kind of out, and then you have to deal with all the different things to try to get your reimbursements and try to remember what exactly you put in there when you're trying to fly out the door at the last minute, like sometimes we do.
Well, and it stinks too if you've gone somewhere and you got like maybe a unique souvenir or something special. And then that's kind of like maybe the once in a lifetime trip somewhere and you're not going to be able to afford to go back. That just kind of stinks.
Yep, that actually happened to us on the cruise that we got engaged on.
What did we lose?
They lost my luggage.
But I forget what was it. What
we had some really cool, I think it was some old Soviet pens that they had. It was kind of something that I was able to get. It was a weird thing. We had a whole bunch of different things in there, just souvenirs from the trip that we lost. And unfortunately, we never saw them again.
All right, let's move into cruise news. Speaking of cruises.
So Mexico, as we talked about, is going to start charging every passenger for the new collective visa. So you'll be charged this whether if you disembark the ship or not. And the fee is going to be $42 per person.
All right. This will be added to the $5 per passenger fee imposed by the local states. So it's not even just sometimes if you're going to like a state of, let's say, Sonora or Sinaloa or something like that. Now, on top of that, you're going to have to pay the $42.
So you're up to $47 per person.
So, of course, that's going to make Mexican destinations some of the most expensive in the world via cruise.
And it's going to make it, it's more expensive than a lot of the ports in the Caribbean.
So initially, this was going to go into effect January 1st, 2025, which left little time for passengers to make adjustments. And then I think there was so much backlash. And even from like the cruise lines, like, hey, wait, you're going to charge us more. People have already paid for their cruises coming up in January for the most part. We're going to lose a lot of money. So they pushed that back till July 2025.
Yeah, I mean, I get that they want the extra money into their economies and everything else. And I think it's like a really big catch because you're starting to see this with a lot of different ports of these new port fees, or they're trying to limit how much traffic. I think the cruise lines are really starting to figure out how to keep their fees down so their prices stay down. But again,
I think they've been very popular because it's been affordable, but I also think there's been a lot of things going on in the country. In Mexico, I've heard some recent stories about people that have had to get out of area quickly due to some violence and killings, and I'm not inspired to want to go to Mexico anytime soon after this.
Well, maybe this fee will help with national, the federales being around and, the national police.
Right, and if I have to take all that into consideration, and all of a sudden it's a little bit less for a family to go to the Caribbean, I'd be like, all right, let's go to the Caribbean.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting because I think you're starting to see this a lot more and more. And
right, because actually, just on an offshoot note that we didn't plan to talk about, but I will. But now Italy is it's Greece. I'm sorry, pardon me. Greece is putting a per person visitor tax into their country, and they're more expensive for like their more popular islands. So a lot of places are starting to charge more to travel.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a thing of the world, and talk about these baggage fees and everything else. Here's just another fee that adds up. I mean, it's nice if you know about it when you book and everything, and those fees are in your fare. It'd be nice. But when you're going to go cruising, I'll say, oh, by the way, you always you have a cabin on 4 or whatever.
I think they're going to put it into the charge of the cruise, the fee.
Yeah.
But it's going to make the fees go up, especially if they're doing this by place. It's not like a one time you go to Mexico and it's the whole country. It might be per port if they're in different states in Mexico.
Oh, and that makes it even worse. So you're all of a sudden, I mean, what I'm saying is that I could see somebody who planned a year out and all of a sudden, hey, by the way, you owe us, have a cabin of 4. We're going to stop at this port in Mexico. So now you owe us another additional $160.
I have a feeling if you've already prepaid for your cruise, that will not happen. It's the newly booked cruises.
Oh, okay. So that at least hopefully it goes into the cruise fees, but I mean, it's again something that hopefully the cruise industry highlights saying, hey, this is costing you more because you're going to this port instead of somewhere else.
I think they're quietly hoping that they put it out in the, in the news and people won't pick up on it.
And talking about more fees and things going up, Carnival Cruise Line, their popular Cheers beverage package increased without warning, leaving some passengers being, they were a little upset.
Well, the thing I think is they did this last year too, but they gave a warning so people could buy the package before they got on board. And this time it happened with literally no warning.
Yep.
So from one day to the next, it increased from $88.44 on board. Sorry, pardon me.
That's right. Yeah, 88.
So you're going to increase to $88.44 per person on board the ship, or $82.54 prepaid before the cruise. But this is per person per day. And if one person in your cabin gets this Popular Cheers beverage package, everyone over 21 has to get that package too.
Mm-hmm. This is an over 16% price increase. It still includes the 15 per day drink limit and drinks $20 and lower.
So, wow. I mean, 15 drinks per day.
No.
I don't even know, even if I put in like water bottles and soda and coffee, if I could get there.
Okay.
Maybe.
On water, you maybe be able to, but that's really tough. I mean,
I'd be done for the day.
Yeah. Well, if it was all alcoholic drinks, yeah. Got me out.
Yeah. I'd be going down to the medical ward.
You used to be able to get the better price on a 6-night or longer cruise compared to the shorter cruises. So this is kind of matching those prices up for the shorter cruises with the longer cruises.
So now they're actually the same price, whether it's shorter or longer. So that's something to take in consideration because, if you're going on, let's say, a nice European cruise or Panama Canal cruise or something like that, now that's significantly increased your cost.
Yeah, drink packages are always like a catch, I think.
Yeah, I would really want to do the math now and try to figure out how much I drink. And it's $88 and 44 cents per day, or even $82.54 is quite a bit.
And there's cruise sites out there that you can actually look and see what the prices are on that line, so you can kind of get an idea of what you drink compared to what the drink package is. A lot of it, and for a lot of people, and we've done it, is more about convenience than the actual price because it's just so much easier not to think about it.
But the good news is the bottomless bubbles soda package will still be the same price.
Which a lot of people will be really happy about.
Right? I can't imagine, if you did that.
Yeah, especially soda is really inexpensive for the most part, so it'd be
juice,
hard.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to our next cruise line, which is Norwegian Cruise Line.
So there's a new theme cruise that has been announced by Wondery's Exhibit C presents a true crime cruise, a murder talk and margarita cruise. Okay, this is intriguing. So this will be a 4-night round trip cruise to Nassau from Miami on January 26, 2026 on the Norwegian Joy. Okay, let me just say that's kind of ironic because we're talking about a murder true crime. Pardon me. Being on a Norwegian Joy is kind of an irony when you're going on a true crime cruise theme.
The Joy?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Some people think it's fun, so there you go. You got your Joy.
It's a collaboration between festival and music cruise operator Sixth Man and podcast studio and network Wondery.
So the cruise will feature a multi-day murder mystery experience by Mystery Men Productions. They'll take self-defense classes from Adrenaline Self-Defense and interact with the podcast host.
So podcast from Wondery, Dr. Death was a big popular one. So that's interesting.
I don't know. I've never listened to those ones.
Oh, I listened to Dr. Death. I'm going to admit, and it is so twisted. And so I listened to the first two, and I am in awe and shock that these things happened.
I know a lot of people are really into those podcasts that are so, they just get into them. And I guess I've never really gotten into them, but
I hadn't either. But when I started listening to these because it was on a recommendation of a friend, she's like, you're in the healthcare field. You should listen to this. And I was appalled.
So they're going to be offering 2 different vacation packages. So the first one's going to be the Silver Sluice package, which includes food, drinks, and access to panels and presentations and more, starting at $1,335 per person based on double occupancy.
Or if you're feeling like spending a little bit more, you could be a Diamond Detectives package. So these are guests that are going to stay in the Haven rooms. So that's kind of like the suites and all that. Early booking for meet and greets or photo opportunities, exclusive programming with talent on board, and other perks. Prices start at $3,235 per person based on double occupancy.
That one would be hard for the diamond one because we've stayed in the Haven before.
Yeah.
And it's so relaxing and everything for me.
But my question is I'd want to see a schedule ahead of time to see, like, are you really even going to be in your room to enjoy the Haven space? Or are you going to be out at, like, all the podcasts and stuff that you're not even going to be in your room?
Yeah, because it could be it's a 4-night cruise, and it could be a pretty packed cruise if you're doing all this stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know if it'd be worth it. That's interesting because, it's nice to have the treats in the room and, you've got a butler and
Yeah, you have everything kind of taken care of, but it's such a relaxing space that you really we took a lot of time when we were in the Haven just to sit back and relax and go to the hot tubs and everything else. And I think you would be driven to go, I want to go see these panels. I want to go see this, go see that. And you maybe not spend all that time in there.
Exactly.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. Royal Caribbean Cruise Line has banned portable travel routers. Well, what's the big deal about these? Well, a lot of people use these to connect on the internet just for their data plan or be able to have their own private network. A lot of people use them actually on travel for VPN protection too, in a way that they get the route where the traffic goes, so nobody could be sniffing what you are sending and everything else.
So this is what some people considered a way around paying for the onboard internet package. So RCL's Vroom packages offer the fastest internet at sea, allowing you to stream, use video calls, check emails, etc. So right now, prices depend on internet packages and how many devices you use per stateroom.
And I think this is the big issue is because you can have one of those connect, and now all of a sudden you can have 10 devices connect to it.
So their Vroom package costs about $17 to $25 on average, but it varies.
You also can get a discount on the Vroom package if you pre-booked it before the cruise. I hate to say it, the internet's becoming more and more
relevant
lately that you kind of have to have it in a way because we check our stuff all the time. I have to be connected because of my work all the time. It's hard to step away from all those devices now.
It is. And you know what? Sometimes you're like, oh, what if there's news coming out, or what if you have a family member that want to get a hold of you at any time? That kind of helps. And we use this internet. We went on a couple's cruise without our son, and our son ended up getting sick. So we used a lot of internet to try to get, notes to my parents for, going to see a doctor and things signed and back and forth. And I mean, that really kind of added up for us.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard, and I get it that people are trying to save money by doing this. I don't know. I mean, I get it both ways here because cruises are still expensive.
All right. You want to talk about an expensive cruise?
No.
So Virgin Voyages has launched an unlimited cruise pass for $1,200 per person per year.
It is first come, first serve.
So these go on sale January 1st, 2025. And then you can only buy them on the first of the month for February or March. And that's it. And they're good for 12 months from the date of purchase.
And also includes the soon-to-be-launched ship Brilliant Lady in September 2025. And what do you get for all this? Well, includes sea terrace cabins with the balcony and hammock, complimentary laundry, unlimited Wi-Fi, because there we go.
All right, then you don't have to worry about those routers.
And $100 bar tab credit per voyage. There's dedicated concierge support and priority booking.
So this is going to be subject to availability on what cruises or sailings that you book.
And no sailing on overlapping or impossible itineraries. So basically, our marketing events are charters. So basically, if you're trying to go from one area to another one where it's just not possible to get to that cruise, they don't want you to book up that cruise.
Right. And, I think this would be interesting to hear, like, in a year from now, like, how easy was it for people to book them? How much did they spend in air travel?
You figure $120,000 per person, and I can't even remember what the average cruise is at anymore. So you're probably over $10,000 a cruise. Easy
Well, these
per
aren't
person.
suites, so that's something to take into consideration.
Yeah, that's true. But depending on how long the cruise is and everything else, I mean, I think it'd be really hard to get $120,000 worth of cruises in. But maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, this is one of those situations I want to be like, sit back, hold my beer, and let me go.
Let's try.
I mean, not that we'd book it, but just coming up with like what would be over $120,000 in cruises. I'm sure I could add it up real quick. Especially, I think you'd almost have to go like back-to-back cruises that left out of the same port. So you get off one cruise, get on the next. Like you've done 4 or 5 cruises, let's say in the Caribbean. So you've gone all the ports in the Caribbean, and then you fly over to Los Angeles and maybe do 1 or 2. Oh, they don't go out of Los Angeles.
No, they don't go out of Los Angeles, which would be nice to have another cruise line. But I mean, I could see somebody doing Australia.
Oh, Australia, or even if you went to Europe and you're backpacking through or traveling through, and each different area went to like a week cruise, but $120,000 worth. And then because we're a couple, that'd be times 2.
Yeah. So you're looking at $240,000. And I think we were talking about this, and I think you said it includes the tips unless you don't want to.
It does include gratuities, which is good because I can't even imagine if you start to think about gratuities.
It's interesting. It's a interesting dream to have to be able to do this, but yeah, no.
That's like one of those, if I won the lottery, I would do this kind of thing. Like that would definitely maybe go on the bucket list of if I won the lottery.
Okay. No, that's it. I mean, it's interesting. And again, it is Virgin Voyages, so there's no kids on the cruise. So I guess you'd be catering to more upper class adults doing this.
Yeah, and their dining is all included, so they're nicer restaurants you're not having an upcharge for.
I find Virgin very interesting to be the cruise on. And I'd be interested someday maybe us going on a Virgin cruise just to see what it's about, because I've heard great things about them.
I would definitely take you up on that.
Of course you would.
So y'all heard it here first. He's agreed to go on a Virgin Atlantic or a Virgin voyage.
Okay, let's go ahead and get out of our cruise news and go to our theme park news. And of course, the park that's near and dear to our heart, which is Disneyland.
It's going to be celebrating its 70th. Disneyland is going to be celebrating its 70th anniversary. So they released the celebration details. It's going to start May 16, 2025 through summer of 2026.
Yeah, it seems like Disney does a lot of, likes their anniversary.
I'm all for it. I love
mean,
it.
another 5 years, we're going to have the 75th. So, hey.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. They are going to have a new version of World of Color called World of Color Happiness. So that'll be changing that at DCA.
And Paint the Night Parade is coming back.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
I'm excited for that
I wonder if they're going to bring back the brushes and the ears and all that stuff.
We still have ours.
Yeah, we do. I mean, that was a lot of fun. It never made its way to Disney World. The ears did, but not the paintbrushes. So when we went to Disney World, we were actually changing people's ears with our paintbrush that we brought from Disneyland. And people were like, what? How did you do that?
It was fun.
Yeah. Wondrous Journey fireworks show is going to be returning.
A Better Together, a Pixar celebration parade returns to Disney's California Adventure.
And Sleeping Beauty's castle is going to get a makeover.
Of course, every anniversary it does. I can't wait. You know what? I'm curious if you look up real quick, because I meant to do this, is what is the 70th anniversary like gift?
Oh, give me a minute here. Sorry.
Because I think 60th was a diamond anniversary. So I wonder.
It's platinum.
Ooh, platinum. That'll be pretty.
Yeah. So I'm guessing we're going to see a lot of platinum, if that's right. But that, again, that was showing me birthday.
What did it say for 60th? We could see if it was true.
60th, I think they said it was a diamond, right?
Yeah, it was a diamond. Has it been 10 years already?
Yes, it has.
Holy moly. That flew by.
It is diamonds.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, so platinum. It's the platinum anniversary.
Yeah, so that's be interesting to see. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of that color throughout then.
Yeah, so we're going to get Mickey and Friends will get a 70th anniversary costumes. And I'm really excited for this as Walt Disney A Magical Life is opening on May 16th at Main Street Opera House. This is going to be featuring an animatronic of Walt Disney himself.
Isn't this the one that kind of had a little controversy around it?
I don't recall.
I don't know. Somebody was saying something that they were upset. I don't know if it was Abigail Disney was upset about it or something like that, but I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of. I mean, it'll be interesting to see all the different changes for Disneyland for this.
Yay!
Yeah, I mean, and talking to Disney, with all the fun stuff coming, that's some really bad news, and I'm kind of really sad about this because this has been a fixture since
the beginning of DCA.
Yep. So the red car trolley will be closing on February 9th, 2025.
So it's going to be making room for the new Avengers campus expansion. The new rides, Avengers Affinity Defense and Stark Flight Lab, will be taking over the red car trolley barn.
Oh, I'm sad about that.
I am too.
I mean, it's just
unique.
Yeah, it was always unique, and I know Disney's been really getting the California Adventure out of the California out of the California Adventure, I guess is the way to put it.
Right. It's like the basic what was there for the original theme park. How can we make it unlike the original? Okay. They better leave Soarin' alone. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it'd be kind of cool though. If I'm right, during that time is going to be probably Food and Wine. So they'll have Soarin' over California during its last rides.
Yes.
So, I mean, at least get a little bit of that old park in there. And I don't know how many people remember the old parkway. When it first opened, there was a lot of problems, but it had a California vibe all throughout. And we've just been seeing it slowly change from Pixar to different areas throughout.
All right. Better news. Tiana's Bayou Ventures ride will now be available to standby line, so no more virtual queue. And that's already happened this week.
Yeah, well, it's cold here.
It is. But you know what? I'm so glad it's not a virtual queue, because I feel bad for people that have problems for technology or didn't do their research that might have missed out on the ride.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, virtual queues have become very common now, though, for the most part, through all the Disney properties.
But my problem was with a virtual queue, we still waited an hour.
Yeah. I mean, it was a long line. It was still a long wait.
And of course, they'll still have their lightning lane.
Yeah. I think for right now, I bet it makes a comeback in summer.
Oh, absolutely. Not the virtual queue. I don't think so. I haven't seen them go back to a virtual queue. I've seen Disney get rid of them, but never go back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know. They could, it couldn't. I don't know, because I can see that line being massive during the summer, like it was when it was Splash. And
I think it'll be massive lines, but they made a bigger queue area.
Yeah. We've written it. I don't know. I liked it.
It was cute, but does it outdo the Splash Mountain themed? I think there's a little nostalgia there for us. And once again, we hate to see original rides leave. Mm-hmm. So it's hard. I think I'd have to write in another time, because I think I was also so looking at filming and pictures.
Yeah, there were so many different things going on. It's just trying to catch what has changed.
I don't think the storyline was as smooth or easy to follow along with.
No, okay. I think it was fine. I mean, it's an update, and I understand the update, but I still will miss Splash. And of course, and also, if you are doing this during the winter, you always can do what everybody on Airline was doing. It was basically they were handing the next person when they came out of the exit, here's my poncho so you don't get wet.
Yeah, I was absolutely happy about that, or one side of me would have been drenched.
Yeah, well, I got a little wet, but
not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to some more Disney news. So Disney Plus subscribers can now get a discounted Disneyland tickets through December 27th. So 3 single park per day tickets will go for $330. It is valid for 13 days after first use or December 27th.
That's not a bad price for 3 single days.
Considering Disney prices, no.
And we're also looking at the holidays right now.
Yeah, so this is going to be not park hoppers, is that correct?
Exactly.
It's just either Disneyland or DCA, and that's it.
Yep.
Okay. Also, with Disney's Plus subscribers, also have access to Star Wars Skeleton Crew exclusive merchandise through December 18th on Disney Store online. Okay.
That's kind of nice. I mean, I like some extra perks for being a Disney Plus subscriber.
Yeah, I think they're really trying to push the Disney Plus. I think they've seen drops in it because, again, a lot of people do want to watch a series. They'll watch it, binge it, drop it. And, we've been constant Disney Plus because it's one of the things that we actually watch a lot of because they have so many different things with Nat Geo and everything else that we enjoy to watch.
Or I love the stories. My favorite one is when they've done like behind the scenes animals at Animal Kingdom Park, and I love all those stories.
Yeah, I mean,
Or behind the ride attractions and things like that that are unique to the parks.
yeah, and you're starting to see a lot of Disney networks starting to close down. So I think they're going to put all their basket of eggs into one basket basically, and hope for Disney Plus to be the predominant entertainment for Disney.
All right, moving along to the East Coast, Walt Disney World announced their Festival of the Arts dates, which will run January 17th to February 24th. I am so excited. I love this.
Yeah, I mean, we loved when we went to the inaugural Festival of the Arts, and we absolutely loved it.
We saw Josh Strickland and Ashley Brown during their Broadway concert series, and everyone from our son, who I think was 13, 14 at the time, up to my mom, all of us, that was a highlight of our trip. I got chills.
I think Hayden was a little bit younger then.
He could have been.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I loved seeing all the art. We got to meet an artist that we have. If you're watching any of our videos, you see the picture right behind us, Walfredo. We got to meet him finally. We have a couple of his pieces of work. I think we got 3 pieces of his work in our house, and it was just awesome to be able to see these artists who are making these things and to be able to talk to them.
All right. So starting December 18th, you can book Disney on Broadway concert series dining packages online. So that is definitely something we'll be doing.
Yeah, because you just gave it away because we're going.
I am so excited because I just think it's such a unique and fun. And if you're a Disney fan, of course you're loving Disney art. And whether that's through the music or the actual artwork or the rides or whatnot, different ways are represented. And it's even represented through food booths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just a neat festival, I think.
I agree. I think actually it's one of my favorites.
Oh, put in your favorites? I think I might have to agree from all the ones we've been on. Let's go on to Animal Kingdom news.
So Animal Kingdom has debuted the new Pride of Lions on the Harambe Reserve. I don't know why that one was a tongue twister. So there are 3 siblings. I'm hoping I'm going to say this correctly. Mashango, Zahara, and Nima. And they're 2 years old. The 2 lions before, Dakari and Kamari, retired to a conservation haven in Florida, accredited by the Associations of Zoo and Aquariums. So they were the models for the 2019 live action remake of The Lion King.
Okay.
So they're going to now have a nice conservation place to roam and be taken well care of. I think it's kind of interesting because the last few times we've done Kilimanjaro safaris, the lions, Dakari and Kamari really weren't out a lot, or they weren't very active. So maybe having 3 toddler lions out will be a little bit more fun.
Yeah, I mean,
and active.
We haven't seen them a lot and then we've go.
Last few years.
Yeah, we usually go to Animal Kingdom at least twice every year, if not more.
Yeah,
and they just haven't really been out, and I kind of get it. So.
All right. Well, speaking of East Coast, Orlando International Airport is recommending to arrive 3 hours early for domestic flights during the busy holiday season. So they're recommending you check the app for airport updates.
And this also applies to passengers with check luggage.
I think it's primarily targeted at them because they're going to have to wait in both lines.
Oh, boy. Don't get me started on the luggage at Orlando at times.
So this happened during the Thanksgiving holiday where people were delayed and missed flights because of the prolonged lines.
Yep. It doesn't affect the day-to-day operations. I guess it's any holiday travel season you're going to have really busy. But Orlando seems sometimes when it gets that rain or there's some thunderstorms in the area, it causes a lot of havoc with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we were, 2.5 hours, 3 hours one time waiting for our luggage to get off a plane?
Yeah.
And it was bad.
All right. So back to some good news. Universal Studios Hollywood releases dates for 2025.
So February 1st through March 20th, past member bonus benefits are going to be happening.
Okay, this one could be interesting. Butterbeer season will be April 1st through 31st.
I have questions.
Oh, I so have questions, but
I'm trying to figure out, better season every time we go there, butterbeer is there. So I'm trying to figure out, is it going to be like special pastries and everything made of butterbeer? Or
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
that'll be kind of interesting. Universal Fan Fest nights will be April 25th through May 18th, and it is a separate ticketed event.
So I think these were supposed to be certain movies. Like I remembered off the top of my head. There's one to do about Harry Potter, and there's another one, Back to the Future night. So I think these could be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a pass holder park takeover in June, which we just were able to do the one for Christmas this year, and it was a lot of fun. And the lines were not bad at all if you're a pass holder.
And then there's going to be an unnamed new summer event June 14th through August 10th. Fast and the Furious, maybe, because the roller coaster's coming.
Well, it's not going to come till 2026, though.
But it gets a hype up.
Maybe, or maybe they're going to do, I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting, a summer solstice thing, or
Jurassic Park, Harry Potter.
I mean, yeah, there's new Jurassic Park movie coming out, too. So maybe they're doing something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. And then we were just talking about Harry Potter. They'll be having Back to Hogwarts August through September 1st.
Okay, so I'm going to take that back. I don't think they're going to do Harry Potter themed. Nope. Back to Hogwarts, I don't care what it is. I want a part of it.
Oh, okay, you want to go see what it's about.
Oh, I love Harry Potter.
And then, of course, they're going to have more past member appreciation days, which is going to be August 15th through September 30th.
All right, and the highlight.
The big one.
We all wait for this, and this is announced really early, so I'm excited. It's going to be Halloween Horror Nights are starting especially early this year, September 4th through November 4th.
Wow.
So 2 straight months of Halloween Horror Nights.
Well, I mean, they do well. They do really well here.
They do, and I love Halloween Horror Nights.
It's funny thing is you'll see it, that's September 4th, so we usually start seeing them building in July?
We did. I think this year it opened, I want to say around September 9th.
And we were seeing the building early in almost summer where you could see the areas where they were just starting to build.
Why did they bother to take it down?
Down, I know. Well, there's some areas that you can just still see kind of things that are still kind of there, but they're not there.
Yeah, as of a week ago.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's great they're doing longer ones, and it's busy. Every time we've gone to, they've all been busy.
They have been, and Halloween Horror Nights is a lot of fun. I look forward to that event every year, and so a prolonged event and announce the dates early so we can plan ahead, because it's usually like July when we hear the dates.
Yeah, and of course they kind of sometimes release a little bit of the first maybe couple of theme.
Well, a year ago they announced the first house on Halloween, and then it was like prolonged, and we almost didn't hear about them all until late this past year. So I'm curious to see when we're going to start hearing Halloween Horror Nights news.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to have quite a few new stuff this year.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of, was it Jordan Peele has a new one coming out? I can't remember because they were talking about it just recently, and I can't remember what they were saying. They were saying it's supposed to be something that new is coming out. I can't remember if it was like the remake of one of the old classic Universal films. So
all right. So
I can't be that don't. But this is just going off of memory from our tour that we had the other night, that they said they were redoing something with one of the horror movies. So,
oh yeah, well, oh shoot, I'm always gonna Neferatu. It's coming out in January this month. In like a week or two, there's a new remake.
We're trying to do some of this off the top of our heads, but yeah, I kind of have a feeling that they're going to go back to a little bit of those classics.
I mean, you know what? I love when John Murdy and his team do the classic Halloween Horror Night, like the classic monsters or the unique storylines, because a lot of times those end up being my favorites.
Yeah, there are sometimes those classic movies I would just love to see come back in a new.
Well, they have been the past few years. I know we're getting off on a tangent.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fun to see see the new with the new technology, but not lose that story. I don't know, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and I think that in the next few weeks it's going to be a very exciting time as we prepare for the new year, new travel updates and theme park news and festivals. It's going to be an exciting 2025.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a good year. I mean, obviously, If you're going to Universal Studios Hollywood, there's going to be a little bit of disruption with Fast and the Furious being built.
The roller coaster. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not that bad though.
No, really. It's cool looking at some of that looks really scary.
I love that the fact that we're watching this roller coaster being built and it's not behind this big wall. It's where it's out in the open and we're all seeing it. Mm-hmm. It kind of makes it a little more exciting.
Yeah. So it'll be a lot of fun. And we're looking forward to all the different parks and things this year. So.
All right. I think with that, it's time for us to say goodbye.
And
find your magic. Bye, everyone.